or Toronto's Metropolitan University. Thank you for listening.
Hello and welcome back to the Race Hangover, episode number 27. It is the Mexico Grand Prix hangover. We've made it this far. Still, congratulations to us. Now, if you are just joining us for the first time, welcome, and I'm going to introduce you to how we do things here. So, I'm going to take you through a race recap in case you missed it or forgot a few crucial aspects of the race. Then myself and my co-host Katie Lebudler, will go over the top 3 moments, and then we'll present our Race Hangover Awards, where we just do things of like driver of the day and stuff like that. And then we'll go over a few talking points from the weekend, and Katie will send you guys home. So I also did forget to say, I'm Austin Terry. That is Katie Lebudler as well. We are the 2 hosts, and we have Clint in studio helping us with graphics and everything. And yeah, do you have any words to say to the masses?
I just want to verify, Clint, you can hear all this in your headphones? Okay, I can't hear anything, so this is just gonna, no point in having these. Yeah, I'm good to go then.
All right. So, race recap. It's not lap by lap. It's just huge major topics from the race in somewhat chronological order. So, turn 1, we had a lot of chaos, mainly at the front of the grid. Verstappen and Leclerc into turn 1 both go off track and have to give position back to Lando Norris, who retained first. You know, some people think it's a rare pole conversion for him. But at the back of the grid, though, turn 4 or 5, I think, Lance Stroll gets spun around, and that is the last you hear of Lance Stroll. So during the Grand Prix, Lewis and Max reignite their rivalry for a little bit, as it happens every single season, and Lewis Hamilton managed to gain a 10-second penalty for leaving the track and gaining an advantage because he didn't use the little side road to come back onto the track. He just cut through the grass. And then while that was all in the thick of everything, Ollie Behrman took Max Verstappen, which was huge for the kid. He managed to actually have himself a very good race. I think we'll probably talk about it later.
Yep.
Oscar did struggle to get past George Russell after he had a bad start. He managed to get past Yuki Tsunoda, which also took him quite a long time.
It did take him like 10 laps.
And he struggled to get past George Russell for at least the first half of the race. Now, Sainz, when we came to the pit stop time, I think his pit lane limiter was broken. As he got a speeding in the pit lane penalty twice, I believe.
Well, yeah, because they gave him a drive-through for it, and then it didn't matter because he couldn't fix it. Yeah. I saw so many memes about that, like, you know, the circle memes where it's like, anyway, it just like, it was a never-ending cycle of getting a penalty and then getting a pit lane drive-through.
It's the fact he announced it as well. He was like, hey guys, it's balanced, something's doing, it's not staying at, what is it, 80?
I don't know.
And then the FIA just were like, yeah, we don't care.
Yeah, and instead of a stop and go or something, you know what we're going to give you?
Unbelievable. But, you know, it happens.
It seems to only happen to Williams, but yeah.
Vamos. George beefed with the team on the radio as he felt he was faster than Kimi Antonelli, who was ahead of him, and they just didn't want to make their minds up. They originally said, hey, go racing.
Yeah.
It's quite hard for the same car with I think a 1 lap tire difference, to overtake the same car. And he was just getting more and more angry on the radio until he just erupted on them.
Yeah.
And then they were like, hey, hey man, we'll do it. Kimi, swap the positions. And it happened, but it happened way too late. Mm-hmm. And after that, Kimi and Piastri were fighting for a bit. They pitted at the same time. But McLaren, you would have never guessed it, had a faster pit stop to get them ahead of Kimi without having to overtake him on track, which was very good from them. And
yeah, shocking from them, but good.
Eventually led to Oscar getting past George Russell on lap 60. And Sainz managed to cause a VSC on lap 70, which saved not only Charles Leclerc, but Ollie Behrman and somewhat Lando Norris. Yeah,
but actually, I'll say this later, but it also hurt him in one way. I'll get to that.
So the VSC ended on lap 71, like halfway through the lap, and had Ollie and Leclerc struggling to get through that finish line because I think everyone expected that to end under the VSC.
Yeah.
Which the commentators were talking about it.
Yeah.
We did get robbed of a very, very good
Ending.
end to that race. But
the other thing you didn't mention, did you see the Liam Lawson in the 2-lap city race? The marshals ran in front of his car.
yeah, I saw that.
He
clip.
nearly killed them.
Is unreal.
Like, they were so close. The screenshot makes him look far, but he actually got so close to them.
Yeah.
But no VSC for that.
They're going to be happy that was on a slow corner.
Yeah. Because I saw the screenshot of that, and then also just, like, Carlos behind, like, the barriers, and it was like, guess which one of these was a VSC?
Oh, man. And, yeah, so the podium ended Lando Norris P1, Leclerc P2, and Verstappen P3. So that is your race recap for the Mexican Grand Prix. Now, should we move on to our top 3 moments?
We should. Clint, throw up the top moments. Yes.
There's a graphic.
There's a little graphic
can't see.
you can't see. Don't worry about it.
Let me load up the tweet.
Well, first, give me your top moment.
My top moment was just George Russell on the radio the entire weekend, and not even on the radio, on track. He was quite entertaining because he made that Mercedes wide for for at least Lando or the team, and I just found it quite funny.
Okay, my top moment, the one I kind of hinted at earlier, is Lando was so close to one of the best Grand Slams of the season and in general. Like, he was so dominant all weekend. He was doing a push lap at the very last lap. Like, he was going for fastest lap, and then the VSC ruined it. As it ruined most things in the race. That's not really a top moment, just a top moment of note that the VSC unfortunately did ruin a lot of things. But shout out to Lando's honestly dominant weekend.
He did. He was racing.
He was racing.
My second moment was the FIA just throughout the entire race, or at least the race director. Not really. I wouldn't say it was a bad race from them, but it was tough to watch them trying to explain things on how Lewis managed to get the penalty, but Verstappen and Leclerc avoided anything for practically the same thing, and just the VSC at the end. It was a mess because even the commentators were like, "He's tucked away behind the barrier. We do not need to do this."
It was like they double yellowed it too, and then they waited so long, and then they were finally like, right when you thought it wasn't going to happen, they were like, "Oh, by the way, VSC," which made 0 sense, but yeah. My second point, again, not one I'm like super enthused about, but Oscar's 3 consecutive P8s qualifying in Mexico. Like, that's honestly more impressive than getting pole 3 times. Like, how do you so perfectly get P8 3 years in a row?
How are you the 8th fastest person on the track for 3 straight years when drivers change as well?
Yeah, actually crazy. But
no, it is quite impressive.
Yeah, impressive is a good word.
Yeah, I guess so. My third moment was just Ollie Behrman being so close to a podium.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the timesheets at the end, he wasn't there, but for at least half the race, it looked like he was about to get a podium and join Hadger and Antonelli.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know where you were going with that.
As rookie podium sitters, which, I mean, there's still time for it. There's still...
Yeah. It could have been, if Lando DNF'd, it could have been 3 Lando DNFs lead to 3 rookie podiums. If he was part of that agenda, but he wasn't. He wanted his race win, I guess. Yeah, I jinxed it, I think, halfway through because I texted you and I said I'm on the Barodium agenda, and it did not end up happening, but that's okay. But on the topic of Haas, it's an American brand, but I was, anyway.
There's something.
Anyway, on the topic of that racing team, did you see their post about qualifying where I had the drivers? So for those listening, Behrman qualified 9th and Ocon qualified 11th, and they put them next to each other in that order, and the graphic showed exactly those 2 numbers, and then they turned off all the comments on all of their posts, which there's no other way they could have done it. It just looked very unfortunate.
Surely they could have put the 9
like just not next to each other,
position, like top left and bottom right or something,
or just flip them, which makes 0 sense.
Or just do separate posts.
Yeah,
do
honestly,
one post.
Unfortunate, but it was kind of funny. I was struggling for a third moment to put here, and that is what I ended with.
I was trying to figure out how you're gonna word that so that we don't get kicked off the radio in our second.
No. Yeah. Anyway, a little bit of inferring on the audience's part on that one.
On that note, we should move on to our Race Hangover Awards, which I'm looking at the Twitch right now.
Throw that in there, Clint. Throw it in there.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
So, who was your driver of the day?
Clint, you have a graphic for that.
Oh, we have graphics for this.
Yes. Okay. My driver of the day. My driver of the day was Lando Norris. Obviously, you win a race by 30 seconds. You're doing something right. And honestly, driver of the weekend. Like 3 purple sectors to P1. P1 to P1, he converted it finally. So, good weekend from Lando.
I thought you were going to put Lando. I kind of knew you were going to put Lando.
I had Ollie typed in first, and then I deleted it.
I put in Ollie.
Yeah, I was really gonna do Ollie, and then I was like, no, you know what? Save him for the next one, and Lando.
Yeah, I put in Ollie just because.
Don't say it like that. I knew you were gonna put.
Well, I was sitting there and I was like, it's either Lando or Ollie, and I'm like,
yeah.
Katie's most likely to go Lando. I know you like Ollie. I know you have a big.
More likely.
I was gonna say crush, but it's not a crush. It's just like maternal instinct toward Ollie Bevan.
Yeah, that's probably better.
And I was like, it could be him, but I think you were gonna give Lando his flowers. And wow,
I am. Really I'm surprised you didn't give Lando his flowers.
I really debated it, but I feel like he's been on my list every single.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're the real Lando fan girl.
So I thought I'll give it a week off. It goes without saying how dominant he was this weekend. So yeah, I had Bevan for finishing his career high. Yep.
Okay, well then moving on to comeback. Clint had a little pump fake on that.
Oh.
Moving on to comeback king. Mine was Ollie.
Mine was Oscar. Because he did drop, and then he came straight back up.
I see, in my mind, comeback king is like you start low, you finish high. Yours is you start high, you drop low, and then you come back.
Yeah, I mean...
Every time you go for the person who lost and gained the most.
To be fair, without the VSC, he probably retains his championship lead.
I don't think he was passing Ollie.
I mean, it was half-half. I think it was a 50-50. It just, like, to be fair, we discover things about battles when they happen, like, hey, my tires are short, like, during it. We don't know how both cars were. Like, Ollie could have hung on. I think he would have. Distance was, but I just because he was in and around a chance of actually keeping it, and him having a bad start. It wasn't a good start, but it wasn't terrible where he just didn't start.
That would be worst case scenario. Yes.
I put him down. I put him down for that because
we need a Clint cam. He's over here with his head in his hands, like, why did I produce this show? On the topic though of comeback kings, just wanted to shout out Ollie because he's leading the grid in overtakes this season, and I'm sure it remains that way after this race. So, yeah.
Shout out to Ben.
A lot of comebacks for that guy.
I feel like we're going to have the same one for this.
Okay, I actually have an honorable mention because I know what you're going to put.
Okay.
So obviously you have the George one.
Yep,
which was quite iconic. Yes, this is Best Radio. Yeah, so Best Radio. We both obviously have the George crash out. We love a good George crash out. I'll let you go into depth in that in a moment. But I also have Gabriel Bortoleto, because after the race, he said he was so happy for Ollie. Like, he asked they're like, Gabby, you finished in the points. Like, congrats, good job, brought it back. And then he goes, oh, what was like the top 3? Because he knew that Barron was close. And they read out the top 3, obviously not him. Then they went P4, Ollie. And he goes, oh, P4, great for him, whatever. And his engineer goes, not great for us in the constructors battle. And he goes, no, right, of course, but like, good for Ollie. Just so funny. The engineer was like, actually, no, we don't like that. And he was like, no, like, go Ollie.
Them interviewing what's his name? I completely forgot his name. I blank. But they interviewed the guy at Haas and was like, hey, the Salvers are kind of... No, they interviewed the Salvers.
Right.
The Salvers. And they're like, hey, Bema's kind of P4 right now. That doesn't help you so much. And he goes, yeah, like... Sucks.
Shoot. Yeah.
Nothing you could have done, but that's actually quite funny. I didn't see
it was
that
funny.
One.
Yeah. So that's an honorable mention, but obviously the Best Radio, the George one. Get into it.
Unbelievable crash out. He originally said to his engineer, he's like, hey, I have more pace. Let's swap. And then he mentioned, which honestly, good for him. Was like, I'll give the position back. I just want a chance to go and attack Behrman. And they were like, oh, we're not sure, like the tires, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then just several things. And Oscar at the same time was just straight behind us all. Like, they're in a little DRS train. And he was like, oh, I've got a McLaren up my arse. I need to, this needs to happen now. And then he crashed out, like reaffirming, I will give the position back, like
please,
I'll do anything. And then they let him go, and he didn't get past Ollie, obviously, and they swapped back once Piastri took Antonelli and George. So
yeah, it was the straw that broke the camel's back was when his engineer was like, George, like your rear tires are getting really hot, like you need to figure that out. And he's like, hello, how? That was when he crashed out. He was like, I can't. I've got Oscar right behind me. Please let me through.
This is like the complete opposite of McLaren's strategy of like fairness. They were just going like,
it was the opposite of papyrus.
Yeah, go and race, and you guys determine what happens, and then McLaren just micromanages it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's only fair. Back 3 years ago, this happened, so you've got to return the favor.
Whereas McLaren's like, or Mercedes is like, let's go bowling.
Let's go bowling.
Yeah, okay. So then moving on, who was your invisible man?
Were you pump faking, Clint?
No, I was waiting for him to get ready. For people who don't know, the Invisible Man is someone we absolutely completely forgot about during the race.
Mine was Gasly.
Yeah, I feel like it's frequently.
It was both the Alpines, but it was mainly Gasly because Colapinto has been in the news somewhat recently of like trying to keep his seat.
Well, also, did you see the Flavio Briatore? That's his.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, I think it was when Colapinto like got out in qualifying or something. There's like a screenshot of him like at the screen. He was like, "What is going?" Like he looks fed up with that guy.
Yeah, he is fed up, and I had Gasly purely because I haven't heard anything out of him other than is it him that something's going around on Twitter, something revolving in golf.
Golfing, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know the full. We should have done research on that.
We'll get back to you guys on that one.
But yeah, he's golfing with someone, and it's like a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Are you looking it up?
Yeah, I just searched.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, while Austin scrolls the web, Clint's also going to scroll the web, and I am going to say my Invisible Man. I think I had Gabriel Bortoleto, but then I remembered that. Then I put him as the radio thing, honorable mention. So then I was like, okay, can't be him. So I'm just going to go with Esteban Ocon because we had such a big race from Ollie that I think whatever Ocon did got lost in the mix. It has nothing to do with his girlfriend. Clint's
There's something going on with a
Clint
girlfriend.
Typed in. So Clint, our poor producer, Clint, put yourself on screen. Find a camera that's on you. So Clint doesn't know too much about F1, and he just tried to see what's going on. And he typed I look over on the computer. It says F1 driver golf girlfriend ?
Well, I typed in F1 driver golf, and then it just popped up some YouTube videos with some celebrities, and then.
But he was golfing with some reporter or something.
Oh, because it auto filled in girlfriend. I was like, is that the story we're talking about? I have no clue.
It was not the media, but like F1 Twitter overreacting that he was like cheating on his girlfriend or something because he was doing something. I don't know. I saw something crazy.
I didn't think it was. I thought it was more like he was with like anyway. But I would also like to mention that when he typed in F1 golf girlfriend, Alex Albon's girlfriend, Lily, just came up, which is great. So good for her.
Shout out.
Shout out, Lily. Yeah. We have one more award here. We're going to go to our brake check champ.
Max Verstappen.
I had the whole front of the grid going into turn one.
Real. I had Verstappen purely because he kept it going after turn one.
Yeah.
So I thought that was just quite funny. But he
the picture of them, there's like a screenshot of turn 1, and it's literally like 5 cars all like horizontally next to each other. I'm like, that looks terrifying.
Them saying, one of the commentators said, "Hey, like he's driving the Red Bull like a shopping cart right now." And I was like, "Oh my."
Yeah. I don't. Clint, Google Mexico turn 1 right now. The picture of this needs to be pulled up. It looks so stupid. Yeah, that should be fine. And then go to images. And see that one that your mouse was on. Yeah. Put that on screen real quick. Just put the whole Google Images thing on screen. Don't worry about it. Look at this. Austin, if you've got the stream up.
Turn 1.
Quite literally 4 of them all side by side. Like that
crazy.
Is so.
I genuinely saw that, like that freeze frame for a second. I was like, oh, Lando's gone.
I was just listening to it because I was working. So I just had an AirPod in while I was taking pictures, and all I hear is like the screaming. Yeah, like it gets so hard to listen and hear what they're saying when they're all like Crofty's literally just screaming for like the entirety, and he does like that thing with his voice where it goes to like that specific octave, and you're like, I don't even want to listen anymore. Triggers my flight or flight. But then all of a sudden he's just like, and Lando Norris makes it through, and I was like, okay, perf. All we need to know. But yeah, that does it for the Race Hangover awards. Now Austin's got.
Oh, maybe it was Ocon. I don't know. I'm seeing way too much stupid stuff. Forget I said anything about
the golf
and cheating and
no.
whatever.
I
can't see. I'm on an awful part of it on Twitter where it's just lies and deception, and disregard everything I've said. I was falsely informed.
No, I don't think you were though. Because I saw something about it.
Or Ocon or whoever I mentioned.
Anyway, that does it for our Race Hangover awards. You have a few things in this doc that you want to bring up and yap about?
Yes.
Go for it.
Well, I was mainly just asking you random stuff as well.
Okay.
The VSC ending the race, do you think it should have been a virtual safety car at that point?
I think if they went to the virtual safety car right away, it could have been a little more acceptable. But I think the fact that they went to 2 double yellows, and then once his car was basically off the track, they were like, oh, never mind, we'll just go to a virtual safety car. That was a little confusing. But I also didn't really see the timing of it all, because they honestly didn't really show what happened. Like, I saw his onboard after the race, I think, but they didn't really show when things were happening in real time, so it was kind of hard to determine.
Mm-hmm. They also never showed the car.
No, they didn't show what happened. They didn't show where it happened. Like, it was kind of hard to determine what would have been the safest course of action with the way they broadcast it. So that was kind of hard to determine. But I do think that they robbed us of a great race finish. So there is that. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, just almost pretty much exactly what yours was. We got robbed of a huge finish. 2, I think, within a second battles, probably. Yeah. And whether it would have ended the same or not, who knows? But it did rob us, and I think they just took, like you said, way too much time to make that decision.
Yeah.
And just ruined everything. I think if you're taking that long, just let it go, and like on the double yellows, and let them still race.
Yeah.
Because it was only double yellows around that one corner. You can race wherever else in the track, but.
Well, also to bring it in just to lose it halfway through the final lap. Like, if you're going to make that decision to end the race on a virtual safety car, end the race on a virtual safety car. Don't give them half or a quarter of a lap to figure it out. Because by that point, it was like anything could have really happened. But anyway, just very interesting decisions all around.
Yeah. Or honestly, really strange.
Yeah.
So my next topic here was Lando getting booed. Now, one, unless you know something that I don't on why he got booed, and 2, what do you think about just booing in F1 as a total? Because that's become a topic, because it hasn't somewhat been part of the culture. Like, it happens in any sport event, whatever. Yeah. But the whole culture around it is usually just cheer for your driver harder than anyone else. Like, you don't need to make a noise if someone mentions a driver you don't like. So what was your opinions on that, and how also Lando reacted to everything?
I think for the why, I think Mexico honestly boos a lot of drivers that aren't Mexican. I think they want Checo back, and they're just kind of booing in general. I think that's part of it. They also probably, the Lando hate train seems to be a popular one at the moment, so that could have something to do with it. But I don't know why or who started that movement or why they all agreed on it. It was like a fan project. They're like, hey, when Lando steps on the podium, we all boo. And then you raise up your little card, and then no. Anyway. But as far as booing in sports goes, as someone whose like primary sport hasn't been F1, I don't see a problem with booing in sports. Like, it's very common, especially a lot of those fans are also football fans, and like booing is such, like, more than booing, being very mean is such a thing in football, like, or just like hockey, like literally any sport, booing is such a massive part of it. And it makes me feel like some of the F1 fans on Twitter who are crying over people booing their favorite driver are a little soft. I don't think that's a crazy statement to make. Stop moving your mic. It's making noise. But also, I agree, like, you don't need to do it. Like, just cheer for your favorite driver. You don't need to boo someone because they want to race. I also saw one point on Twitter. Well, all my points that I see are on Twitter. But I saw one point on Twitter where it was like, okay, like, this isn't like football. This is people who are risking their lives to give us entertainment because it is such a dangerous sport. So in that sense, yeah, I agree. Maybe don't boo them when they're giving you entertainment at the risk of their own life. But I think the whole thing is blown out of proportion. Like, it's really not that deep. It's just booze. Yeah. And Lando handled it by he said he laughed because he didn't know what else to do. He was like, it's kind of awkward. I started laughing. So I think that's fair.
Yeah, I don't know. It is a bit odd. Like, I understand it for other sports and everything.
Yeah.
And I would also understand it a bit more if he was like the world's worst person and he does despicable things in his spare time. Then then I'd understand it. But he quite literally, I don't think, has done anything.
No, especially not to Mexico fans. Like, I get it too when they're in like the Dutch Grand Prix. Like, when
he won there.
And he kind of pissed off a few people. So fair enough, boo him. But like, in Mexico, what do you do in Mexico? If anything, boo Liam Lawson. I'm never one to say that, but he did flip off your favorite driver. So
yeah. It's I don't know. It's a strange situation because
it's just weird.
It's not usual seeing it.
Yeah.
You never usually see someone get booed unless they're like completely hated. And like Verstappen, when he was unfathomably dominant for those few years, he was disliked by a lot of people because it ended up being a bit boring for everyone because he was just running away with everything. But I never saw him get booed for it. So, I mean, we're getting the most entertaining championship since 2021.
Yeah.
And he is the one driver in there that is like somewhat a form of entertainment constantly because he's always doing something.
Always doing something.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just a bit strange, but
it is strange.
Yeah, I think he was fine with it. It's that I mean, probably earlier in the season it could have affected him as he was struggling. Well,
I think it's hard for him to be upset about anything when he's now back leading the championship.
Yeah, I mean, he had the perfect weekend almost.
Yeah.
And he is completely fine, I think.
He'll be okay. This rich man will be okay.
Yeah, he is also unfathomable.
Well, also, he is, like, certainly, and I know this is talked about to the ends of the earth, he is obviously the most hated driver. Like,
oh, yeah.
You know when they post in the channel and, like, people post the screenshots of all the reactions? It's like Charles will get a poll and everyone's like, so happy, so excited, it's all hearts and rainbows. And then all of a sudden Lando will get when it looks like he just committed a crime. They're like thumbs down, crying, angry emojis, throw up emojis. I'm like, oh my
There's
God.
emojis in there I've never seen before to describe their anger and disgust with it. And I'm like, what?
It's like, what did this guy do? And then they'll always just be like, oh, he's so arrogant. And I'm like, he's also leading the championship. Like, he can kind of sort of maybe back it up.
It's also when he like isn't like arrogant and he plays that humble card.
Yeah, but he's so fake.
It's like,
okay,
what do you want from him at this point?
Yeah, the double standards are actually so crazy. And the funniest part is most of the double standards come from McLaren fans or Oscar fans. Like, I don't want to like rage bait everybody on the internet right now, but like the amount of people who are just like calling sabotage when Oscar's doing well, but when Oscar's not doing well, but when Lando wasn't doing well, they're like, oh, he's such a bad driver, he's a bad mentality, he doesn't have the world championship mentality. And it's like, okay, Oscar just got P8.
Yeah. Speaking of that, what do you think about the sabotage rumors of...
They're obviously...
Not even rumors, but conspiracy theories that McLaren has done something to Oscar's car.
Like, my favorite was someone was like, it's got to be somewhere in their contracts that Lando has to win a world championship before Oscar. I was like, why would
That's
Oscar...
such a stupid clause.
And why would Oscar, with the manager Mark Webber, ever sign that? Like... Oh, some people are.
I love the like logical people replying to it, and then everyone's like, "No, that shouldn't happen." It's like, what? Like they're like, "Oh, he's got a cracked chassis or something," and they're like, "Oh, I wonder why." And then show the picture of him slamming into cars and the wall in Baku, and then they're like, "No, they would have fixed that by now."
Well, they didn't fix Lando's for half the season, so there's that. Yeah. I think the sabotage people are crazy, but they're also the same people who called out every single Lando fan at the beginning of the season, and they were like, you guys are such conspiracy theorists, like he's just not driving well, he's just not that good. And then all of a sudden when it's Oscar, they're like, oh my god, something has to be happening.
They are losing their minds at it.
Yeah.
It's honestly so funny to just see.
Observe.
Some are just so blatantly like, how do you think of this?
Yeah, I know.
Like others, like you can maybe make a point for. I'm like, I see someone, I'm like, okay, it's a reach, but it's not as far of a reach as I've seen from others.
Yeah.
But it's still really fun.
But yeah, some of them being like, sabotage. When like you look historically, Oscar kind of has dropped off towards the end of every season so far. And obviously, like he started out pretty well after the first race. He started out pretty strong, and then it's kind of been dipping since then. And so I think that is something that happens frequently with him, and we'll see if he can bring it back this season. But that doesn't mean sabotage. That means that he's maybe dropping off towards the end of the season.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's also a case, some drivers just suck at certain tracks.
Yeah, that especially.
I mean, this is probably a run of tracks that Oscar isn't particularly fond of.
They're never very good, McLaren in general, so it's almost surprising that Lando won in
I was
Mexico.
surprised he won by that much.
Yeah, because they're not usually that good in the Americas, period.
But to be fair, we've been seeing a trend recently with cars in P1 who just go.
Yeah.
And
I think
unless it's a
because
safety car, they don't get brought back.
There's been so much happening, there's been a lot of battles this season, I think, because there are a lot of different people in contention. And so I think that has been a main thing. If you're in P1 and you can make it out of turn one, everyone behind you will be battling for the rest of the race. And there have been a lot of, you're right, like big margin wins.
I want to point out when Lando was ahead by like 2 seconds, I think it was about 10 laps in, they got on the radio to him and they're like, okay, push now.
Yeah, they could go.
They're like, what? And you just see like every lap he gains like a second almost, and you're like,
I know.
What was this?
Because I was like half watching because I was at work, and then I tuned back in, and it's like 27 seconds. I was like, what the?
I completely forgot he was in the race. Like I'd check it just to be like, is he still there? But because the camera the entire time was on the battle for like fourth.
Yeah. It was on like every different battle. Did you see the graphic? It was between Verstappen and Hamilton, and it was like prediction the battle for seventh. Like it was like gonna happen in like 7 laps, and it's like how many world championships between the two of them, and they're battling for seventh right now.
Unbelievable.
Unfortunate. Yeah. I think I had one other point, but I lost it.
Speaking of Verstappen and Lewis, should Lewis have got that penalty? Well, yeah, he should have, I think. But should Verstappen and Leclerc have got one as well for them also leaving the track and gaining an advantage?
I didn't really see.
Okay. Well,
I don't know. Should they have lost it?
To be fair, Leclerc and Verstappen gave the positions back, but Lewis didn't lose a position.
Right.
He didn't lose a position. He had the position himself, went off track, just didn't use the runoff area, and just cut through the grass, and they got him for that. Because had he have used that, he still ends up in P3 wherever he was, and ahead of Verstappen, who forced him off the track. So it's actually he didn't force him off. That was a different incident. My bad. He locked up. But
yeah,
I just thought it was 10. I thought was a very, very harsh penalty.
That is harsh.
for that situation because it dropped him from P3 to behind Oscar. It was in P9 at the time.
He barely came out ahead of Hulkenberg.
Yeah.
Which I was listening. That was the part I was listening to, and it was like, oh, will he come back out in front of Hulkenberg? Maybe, and then he did. And then I turned it off, went back to work for 2 seconds, came back to it, and Hulk was out of the race. And I was like, what happened there?
Yeah.
Because he was just basically in P10. But that was another thing with this race. There were so many DNFs.
Yeah. I mean, it was a very hot race, so I think just if you didn't have the cooling on point, I think Hulkenberg on the formation lap said, hey, I've got power issues already. Like, he drove around it for as long as he could, but couldn't do it. Sainz had his whole pit lane limiter thing. Yeah. Lawson just, I forget what he
I don't even remember what happened. I wasn't really.
It happened so early, and everything just kept happening in the race where, like, we'll get a race as an email, and then we'll get this one where it's, everything happens. But.
And we prefer these ones.
Yeah, we do. Please keep giving us.
Keep them coming.
Give it to us until the end of the season, and then you can do as many emails as you want when you're back. Just give us a really entertaining end to this championship fight.
Please. They can all be emails up until Abu Dhabi. And then...
Watch them like triple DNF in Abu Dhabi. Like, Piastri.
It's already decided before.
like.
Someone go bowling on lap 1 and take out the entire championship.
Well, I wouldn't want to rule out George Russell. He's still technically.
Is he still technically?
He's still technically.
What does he need? Basically a DNF from everybody for the rest of the season. I thought he was out after last week or yesterday.
The driver.
I didn't see anything that said that. I just figured he would have been.
No, he was generally.
Interesting.
I need to ask an AI because I'm doing the math on the spot.
Oh, well, give it up then.
To win the championship this season.
Well, Austin does that math. Can you go to the common area? Where we're filming this, you can see outside in the common area. But the funniest part is they can see us on that big TV in the back, so they can also see that they're on camera right now. So get them off. But they can see us laughing at them right now. But yeah, I just wanted to shout that out really quick because.
Were you in the lobby, Cam?
Yeah, but they have us on the TV in the lobby, so people can't hear us. I don't think, hopefully, but they can see us, and so I just put them on camera for a second, and then this girl who was walking stopped at her tracks and realized that she was on the TV, and then Clint come back to me giggling at them. So there's that. But what do you think George Russell needs?
According to this, probably not realistic, but Russell needs to win, I think, at least 4 out of the 6 remaining races.
I feel like he'd need to win all of them.
Get 2 more podiums if he wins the 4, and then have Piastri have 2 DNFs and finish off the podium.
Doable.
Like, almost all of them. And then Norris and Verstappen to just keep, like, they can be, I think, steady.
They can be mid.
Yeah. Actually, I think they'll need DNFs as well. I think they all need to DNF several times for George to win this. But I think even if he did win the remaining 5 races out of 6, come or 4 out of 5, whatever it is now, if he came to Abu Dhabi, he would need them to DNF, I think, and just win the race.
That would be actually crazy. Unlikely, but crazy.
Yeah, honestly, that's the scenario I'm rooting for.
I'm rooting for that. Well, remember back when Lando seemed so far out of the championship that we were like, I hope he just keeps losing in the most unplausible ways. And now all of a sudden he is leading the championship only by 1 point, but makes you think if he didn't mechanical DNF, he'd be leading by how many points?
And Canada.
But Canada was his fault.
Canada was his fault.
But I do like to bring up Canada because if he wasn't such an idiot, that's been my stance on it the whole time. If he was just a little smarter, he would be way further ahead in this championship.
It's also Brazil next, which
it is Brazil next.
Lando has been fast at, but Verstappen has been.
But we all remember
that track.
Brazil last year,
and I think it will be a. I mean,
but Lando doesn't need to beat Verstappen. Verstappen can win the rest of the races.
Yeah, he doesn't. He just needs to. At least be 1 or 2.
He just needs to be ahead of Oscar. Like that's he's basically it's back to just him racing against Oscar. Because Verstappen's in the championship, but not if they keep finishing P1, P2.
Yeah, I think they'll need something crazy from Lando. Like if Verstappen finishes P1 the entire year and then Lando P2, I think Lando still
wins. Yeah.
Or,
so he just really needs to set his.
Yeah. But Brazil
sights.
is a track where Verstappen has been very fast. So
yes.
I think he is the benchmark to beat. But Oscar has to do something. And
he has to bring it back.
He needs to at least finish on the podium because it's been 4 straight without podium, I believe, for Oscar.
Well.
And
we will discuss this all next week on our Brazil preview.
Real.
We've been saying it every week, but the next one is a big one. We've been saying it. I
love that track.
We'll hear how much Austin loves this track next week when we bring you a Brazil pregame episode, and see how we do a pregame for an hour because we'll see. Don't forget to join us live next week on Monday at 4 p.m. on Twitch or here on Spirit Live Network. And then you can also watch the rerun episodes so you can skip over the parts you don't like. Every Tuesday, we post those at noon. And we will see you next week, like I said, for a Brazil pregame episode. Clint, show them the socials. Bang! You can follow us anywhere at The Race Hangover on socials. Subscribe here on YouTube at Shuttersport Media. Subscribe here on Twitch at Shuttersport Media. And we will see you next week.
Bye.